Hey everyone, and welcome. My name's Aaron, and today we're taking a look at the DRV from 1981 Inventions. I'm starting out today with my Yamaha Revstar 502, going into my Jackson Newcastle 18. And this is a pretty hot output guitar. This is a gain pedal, and I like kind of gain into gained up already. So we're just going to start with this sound because I think it's fun. So this is the sound straight into the amp. I mean, come on. We're gonna try this Starcaster. Let's mellow this out a little bit. Hey, what? This is a fun one. The 1981 Inventions DRV. This is a drive pedal modeled after and inspired by the ubiquitous ProCo RAT of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. When you talk about a RAT, you're talking about high gain, mid to high gain, into even kind of fuzzy territory. This sort of starts where the RAT starts, but it's definitely got sort of its own little spin on it. And I would pinpoint it to the mid-range. It has, I would say, a more pushed mid-range than a RAT and less of a harshness in the high end. So it's a little bit of a tamed RAT, a domesticated RAT, maybe. A lot of times with a RAT, it's like when you plug it in, if you haven't used one especially, there's kind of a lot of non-usable sounds in there just because it's so harsh, and it adds so much brightness, and it's kind of like, sort of cuts the mids a little bit. And this one sort of, I would say, improves on that. It like the things that I don't like about a RAT, and I do like RAT pedals, but the things that I struggle with are kind of that icicle-like top end and like not enough mid-range. So it ends up sounding sort of like butt rocky. This one I found to be a more modern take on the RAT. So it's got this pushed mid-range thing, and then it's got a little bit of a tamed top end, and it's like a parallel drive. I can turn the drive control all the way down, and I still have sound coming out. I still have volume. So the volume sort of works in tandem or parallel with the drive, which is not like a RAT. If I turn the drive all the way down on the RAT, the volume goes away as well. So you're stuck with the distortion basically in a RAT. Whereas this, you can use a little more transparently and a little more like a boost. Anyway, I got the Blackout version. I'm gonna turn the light on here. You guys, this pedal is probably the prettiest pedal that I own. This flat, matte black. I don't know how well it's coming through on the video, but with sort of it's mirroring my shirt. I've got a foil black logo. This is my band t-shirt here, and I didn't even plan that, but very pretty to look at and also extremely well built. It's like a heavy pedal. The foot switch itself is one of these like silent foot switches, and for a pedal with so much gain, it has actually a very quiet sort of switching to it, turning it on and off with my hand here, and it just like feels great. You might say, hey, that stuff doesn't matter, but I would say it does. If you have like a flimsy old pedal and you're stepping on it a bunch, then maybe it'll break. And this thing, I would be confident that, no matter how many times I stepped on it, it would just like last forever. So for controls here, on the left, we've got drive. And in the middle, there's a filter. Now, how this filter works is as you turn it up, it gets darker. So this is cutting tone. Same thing with a RAT. It's the same thing. And then output over here. This pedal, as well as the RAT pedal, the output is not like super hot. So, sometimes on a drive pedal, it's like, hey, I'm going to set it to like, set all knobs to noon. But when you do that on this pedal, it's like that. I mean, maybe you like that sound. I don't, particularly love that sort of like cut low end, really push distortion and like a lot of treble to it. So I'm immediately like turning the drive down I'm turning the filter up, so I'm making it darker, and then bringing up the output. So I'm getting a little more of my amp's natural overdrive. That's a little more in the territory there. You know, when I work with an overdrive, whether it's a low gain or high gain overdrive pedal, I like the brightness to be about the same or maybe a little brighter on the overdrive than it is on, you know, just coming through my amp. So I don't like there to be a hugely drastic difference. So if I start out with that, man, it is just aggressive as hell. That's what the drive at like 9 o'clock. So as you go up from there, as you turn up the drive, it really changes sort of the character of the overdrive. It's not only saturating more, it's sort of adding that mid-range that I was talking about. So if I start there, start turning up the drive, gets a little more mid-rangey, actually a little less top-endy. So I can maybe bring some of that filter back. Maybe not that much. Crank it up even hotter. And it gets a lot darker as you crank it up higher, which is very interesting. So these two knobs, the drive and the filter, really work together. And you know, you might find yourself like if the drive is lower, the filter's up higher, and then you know you're doing one of these things. As you turn up the drive, you can let some of that tone through because the drive is also shaping. That's about where I would have it if I was about at noon. Turn it up to like 3 o'clock. See, now it's a little too dark. Bring the filter back. Holy smokes. With this guitar anyway, no matter where I put the drive, I really wouldn't bring the filter down lower than noon. But I did find something sort of interesting when I bring the drive all the way down, and I have the filter all the way down as well. That is sort of a treble booster type of sound. If you have a, you know, super dark guitar, that might be a useful sound as well. Bring the filter all the way down. But it was interesting when I had that Yamaha, which I still sort of am getting used to and setting it up. This thing has really hot output, and it's very dark as of right now. It also has this little push-pull tone pot, which is like a bass cut on it, which sort of helps. Yeah, so that's like bridge pickup. That's pushing so much low end. A barrel of fun, tons of fun. Plug it in and turn it up. You know, with lower gain pedals, which is typically more my thing, I'll mess around with it a little bit, and then I kind of want to start adding other stuff. Reverb, delay, modulation. With this thing, I didn't really want to do that. I just sort of wanted to get gainier and gainier sounds. I think that's probably the nature of using like high gain, is you don't want to use a lot of effects with it because it starts sort of taking over. But it's also maybe goes to prove the point that that's just a very interesting, complex sound all by itself, just that much gain. And I really like how they've done it. I think it's, as I said, there's more usable sounds in there than like a typical Rat. So yeah, this is a cool one. The DRV by 1981 Inventions. Check it out yourself if you get a chance. Hey, Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below. That's going to be it from me today. We'll see you all next time.